Congratulations, 2012! Please remain standing for a minute or so. I'm Robert Scott, president of Adelphi University. On behalf of the faculty, board of trustees, administration, and student body, welcome. We are here to celebrate Adelphi's 116th commencement and the first day of many new lives that will commence today. Please remain standing for the invocation to be delivered by Rabbi Barry Dov Schwartz. Then please continue to stand for the singing of the national anthem sung by a quartet of senior music majors, Jennifer Austin, Hannah Hackett, Taylor Ackley, and Jeremy Wright. They will be accompanied by the Adelphi University Symphony Orchestra, conducted by Christopher Linden G. and Salvatore Di Vittorio. You are all encouraged to join in the singing. Rabbi Schwartz.
We all know, especially in this election year, religion and politics do not mix. But what about religion and sports? We would think not, but enter the likes of Tim Tebow and Jeremy Lin, and we soon realize that many athletes are indeed faith-driven. At first glance, we might perceive a contradiction between religion and sports. Religion teaches humility and service to others. The sports hero is competitive and one-dimensional. Winning at any price is the only goal. Avoiding defeat is the ultimate success. In the religious realm, surrender to God is what is praiseworthy. In sports, surrender of any kind is anathema. And here comes Jeremy Lin. He himself has expressed the tension he feels between being a religious person and a professional athlete. In an interview, he speaks candidly about this tension. I'm not working hard and practicing day and night so that I can please others. My audience is God, and I submit myself to God and give up my game to Him. Jeremy Lin is now living this creative contradiction, and we wish him well as he searches to find his comfortable niche in life on whatever team he finds himself, in whatever position. Likewise, Tim is learning the hard way. You can't always be number one. Maybe number 95. In a sense, we are all searching. You graduates are now going out into the world and will be facing many of life's contradictions between what you have been taught here at Adelphi and the so-called real world. You will have many serious choices to make, and I ask God's blessings on you, your parents, your teachers, as I implore you. Choose wisely, go for it, and find your niche. And one more thing on this special Friday. Be careful of Facebook. Amen.
Thank you, Jennifer, Hannah, Taylor, and Jeremy, for singing out on this stage set up for Madonna, who was here practicing until 1 a.m. And she'll be back this afternoon, but we have it in between. Please be seated. I would like to acknowledge some people who are here. Would members of the Board of Trustees please stand and be recognized? Thank you. Please acknowledge Shelley Kleiman, co-chair of the Alumni Advisory Council, and Philip DeSanto, president of the Student Government Association. Please note their greetings, which are in the commencement program, along with that of the Honorable Donald Brody, Mayor of the Village of Garden City. I'd also like to acknowledge Ms. Ruth Hennessy, Executive Vice President and Chief Administrative Officer of St. Francis Hospital. She and some of her colleagues are here to remember Nancy Costel-Donlin, a member who was to graduate today, who died in September of 2010. She had completed had seven courses left to achieve her MBA and would have graduated today with a specialization in health services administration and was the liaison for this program, and we remember her. Many of this year's graduates are members of prestigious honor societies due to their achievements in academics and leadership, and others have studied abroad. Many of these students are wearing on their gowns the distinctive cords of their respective honor societies or the scarves representing the countries where they studied. Would all the honor society members and those who studied in other countries please stand and be recognized? Thank you. I would also like to take a moment to recognize the Executive Board of the Parents Association, Raymond Webb, President, Salvador Viola, Vice President, Jay Dubin, Vice President and Treasurer, Cindy Philbin as the Secretary. Thank you for all the work you do on behalf of the parents and the students. Please also acknowledge the Faculty Excellence Award winners, and please stand as I call your name. Tenured Professor Devin Thornburg of the Ruth S. Ammon School of Education. The non-tenured Professor Christopher Storm, Department of Mathematics and Computer Science. Faculty Award for Excellence in Service, Professor Francine Conway, Derner Institute. And the Faculty Award for Excellence in Scholarship and Creative Work, Professor Robert Bornstein. Thank you. I now call upon the Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Robert B. Willemstad, to bring greetings.
Thank you, Bob. On behalf of the trustees, I'm delighted to offer greetings to the parents, grandparents, relatives, and friends of the graduating class of 2012. We are thrilled to congratulate each and every one here today who has earned a degree from Adelphi. Your years of hard work and dedication to your studies have led you to this commencement day. You now join an alumni network of over 100,000 leaders in the arts, sciences, business, education, social work, psychology, and nursing, whose accomplishments and contributions to society have changed and will continue to change the world. Today we have three remarkable honorees who have made their mark in the world and who will serve as great role models for our graduates. The board would like to extend its thanks to the many parents, grandparents, relatives, and friends that have supported and encouraged our students. Many of them would not be here today without your help. Since 2005, I've been privileged to serve as a member of the Board of Trustees. I can state without a doubt Now is the most exciting time in the 119-year history of this institution. The reputation of the university and the value of your degree will continue to be enhanced by the efforts of those who graduated before you. And as those who came before you continue to achieve, the board, faculty, and staff of Adelphi count on you to do the same. This may be the completion of your term as students, but it is the beginning of a new relationship with Adelphi as alumni, as well as the beginning of a career for many of you. My fellow trustees and I express the strong hope that you will maintain a continuing relationship with your alma mater in the years ahead. We wish you good success and good fortune, and we congratulate you on your achievements. Thank you.
It is now my privilege to introduce an honorary alumnus of Adelphi University, someone who entered college with 800s on both verbal and math, who serves as the senior senator of the state of New York, Senator Chuck Schumer.
Well, thank you, Dr. Scott. It is great to be here. And I first want to thank Dr. Scott for the great job he does as president of Adelphi. He and all of the staff, from the distinguished professors through the teaching adjuncts to the clerical and administrative staff, all the way to the people who come late at night and keep the place nice and clean. You do a great job, and you've made Adelphi one of the finest institutions of higher learning in New York State. So congratulations and job well done. Now, it's my honor to address the folks on the podium, the friends and families of the graduates, but most of all, you, the class of 2012 Adelphi. Congratulations to each and every one of you. Now, first, I'd like to announce my class gift. You know, it's hard to pay for college. And if you're poor, the federal government helps you out. That's a good thing. But what about the middle class? So, 3 years ago, I wrote a law, it's now on the books, that says you or your parents, whoever paid for college or graduate school, can take a full tax credit of $2,500 off your federal taxes each year to defray the cost of tuition or help defray the cost, provided your family income is below $200,000 a year. So, for those of you who come from families who make below $200,000, make sure you take that tax credit. About 30% of the people who were entitled to it last year didn't take it. And if you forgot to do it when you were sophomores and juniors, because it's been in existence 3 years, you can file a form with the IRS and get a refund. All totaled, it's $7,500. That's a lot of money, so don't forget to do that. Now, what about those who make above $200,000 a year or come from families who do? God bless you. I'd like to say a word to the parents. I know how the moms and dads, I know how you feel, because a few short years ago, my wife Iris and I sat where you did. We craned our neck to see our daughter Jessica move the tassel from one side to the other, watched her come up on the stage and get her diploma. It was one of the greatest days of our life. And if you're like us, you think back to the tough times, because it wasn't always so easy. We remembered when we rushed Jessica to the hospital when she was 8 months old. She had 106 fever. We thought she wouldn't make it, but praise God she did. We remembered when we put her on the kindergarten bus for the first time, and she ran to the back, waving goodbye out the back window, tears streaming down her little cheeks. But at 2 o'clock, when Iris went back to the bus, she bounded off, happy as could be. She said, "Mommy, I came back." When we talked to her, she thought we were putting her on the bus and that was it. New family, she'd never see us again. Then we remembered her as a teenager when she didn't say much to us. And when she did, we didn't understand a word she said. And then moms, dads, you watch your daughters and sons get that diploma and become an adult before your very eyes. Congratulations to the moms and dads. Job well done. Now, to you, this great class, Adelphi 2012. You know, you're graduating with two major advantages. One, you're graduating from an excellent institution of higher learning. It gives you a leg up on the millions of others who are graduating this June, and many others, of course, unfortunately, don't even have a college degree. And second, so you've gotten a great education. Second, you are the first generation to be born into all of this new technology. In 1988, maybe that was the year some of you were born, that was the first year the word internet was in print. There was no cell phones, no Google, no text messaging, no Facebook, no LOL. In 1993, when some of you started kindergarten, the World Wide Web had 12 websites on it. That's it, 12. Now there are 14 billion. Now, so it shows you how fast technology is moving. Now, me, your parents, your teachers, we try to get into this technology, but it's hard for us. But you were born into it. You know all about it from the get-go. Technology is to you like water is to a fish. You've been swimming in it so long, it's second nature to you. So the fact that you've gotten this great education and the fact that you're the first generation to be totally familiar with all this new technology means something. It means now is the time to really figure out what your dream is, even if it seems hard to get to. Reach high for it. Then reach deep down inside yourself, see what you're made of. My advice to the class of 2012 is very simple. Go for it. Now, sometimes you'll make the wrong choice, but if my experience is any indication, you'll pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and move forward. But if you make the right choice, with a lot of hard work, a little luck, and some prayer, your life will be enriched forever. Now, I learned these things myself. When I was seated at graduation, as you are today, a while back, college graduation, I learned that I had won a scholarship to travel all around the world, all expenses paid for a whole year. For me, it was the opportunity of a lifetime. I had never been out of the country before. But at the same time, he hadn't been out of the country before either. But now he's going. But at the same time that I learned I won this scholarship, I had met a girl, and I fell in love. Aww. I had to decide, do I go around the world on the all-expense-paid scholarship for a whole year? Or do I stay home with the girl? She said girl. I said scholarship. Well, I stayed home with the girl. Nope, don't applaud yet. The story continues. That summer, she went on a brief vacation, and I went to the airport to meet her on her return. As soon as she got off the plane, I saw by the look on her face something was wrong. She dumped me by Labor Day. There I was, no scholarship, no trip around the world, no girl. I said to myself, what a loser you are. You are never going to make anything of yourself. And in fact, I didn't know what to do, so I stayed in my house for several months, moped around, feeling bad for myself. But somehow I picked myself up, dusted myself off, and moved forward. And a few years later, I found myself graduating once again, this time from law school. But on the way home from law school, I told Mom and Dad I wasn't going to join the fancy law firm like we had planned. I told them my love was politics. My dream was to run for public office. And I was going to run, even though it was a very long, long shot. Well, my parents were shocked. My mother was particularly disappointed. You see, I came from a family who struggled to put me through college and law school. The law firm was paying $400 a week, which was more money than my family had ever seen. But I wanted to go for my dream. So that fall, at the age of 23, I ran for the New York State Assembly, and I had 3 opponents. There was the party machine candidate, there was a neighborhood activist, and then there was my mother, who was telling all her friends not to vote for me. So I'd get this dumb idea of being a politician, as she said, out of your big, thick head. Well, graduates, a few years earlier, I didn't get that girl, but that November, I won the election. So, to this great class, Adelphi 2012, go for it. And when you have doubts, and believe me, we all have doubts, that's the human condition that God gave us, that's how we are, we'll all have doubts, but maybe you'll remember a few lines from this poem by Rudyard Kipling called If. He wrote it to his son over 130 years ago, but it's relevant to every son and every daughter of this great class today. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those 2 impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on a turn of pitch and toss and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings but not lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. He wrote it to his son 130 years ago. It's relevant to every son and every daughter of Adelphi 2012 today. To the class of 2012, congratulations. Good luck. Godspeed, and don't you forget, go for it. Thanks, Dr. Thank you for the great job.
Let's have another big round of applause for Senator Chuck Schumer. I now call to the podium the Provost and Senior Vice President of Adelphi University, Dr. Gail Inchler.
Thank you. The faculty is the heart and soul of any university. As the custodians of our academic traditions and creators of new knowledge, the Adelphi faculty are at the core of our efforts to foster learning and imagination. Through them, the intellectual powers of our students are developed. Bringing greetings from the faculty is Ron Feingold, Professor of Physical Education and Chair of the Faculty Senate.
On behalf of the faculty at Adelphi University, congratulations. You are graduating from a great university, and I differ from the thoughts of Senator Schumer. You're not one of the best in New York State, you're one of the best in the country.
All right.
And the reason I say that is it's a university that is unique and truly cares about each and every one of you. As a person, your welfare, and of course, your education. I've been here a long time, almost 4 decades, but I also had been at other major universities in the Midwest and the Southwest. And I could tell you, Adelphi is different. It's unique. It's special. And you're very fortunate to graduate from this particular university. Now, you are about to embark on a long journey, an exciting one, an ever-changing one. We hope you realize that you are a person, an individual, a member of an ever-changing world. What happens in other countries, in Greece, in Iraq, in Korea, in Germany, in France, on Long Island, New Jersey, New York, impacts you as a person, an individual. We also hope that you realize that you can make a difference. A single person, like yourself, can change a child's life, those of you in education. A difference in the healthcare system, a difference in the business world, and a difference in the world economy. It starts with a single person. While at Adelphi, you have received a great foundation, but it is only a start. You have to keep learning, adjusting, changing to societal and economic issues. Although you may have some frustration in career opportunities, I could guarantee that. Please remember to keep your priorities in order. Family, friends, many of them you made at Adelphi, and above all, your personal integrity and values, your principles. If you lead your life caring for others and holding to your values, you can't miss being a success in life. And all of you can be winners, not just in sport. In fact, through sport, all of you can be winners as well. There are no losers when you care about others and you care and you hold up to your principles. We hope you feel comfortable enough when you leave Adelphi to continue to remain in contact. Feel free to ask for help, advice, or simply let us know how you're doing. Your successes and your failures. Again, congratulations to you, your parents, and have a wonderful and successful life.
I now ask the Adelphi University faculty to stand and be recognized by the class of 2012. While the search for truth may be an underlying reason for the existence of a university, it is to engage the minds of students in that search that constitutes its true purpose. It is through the minds and powers of the students that a university fulfills its mission. The university exists for students and establishes its worth only by doing justice to students' intellect. The special awards for academic distinction printed in your commencement booklet amply illustrate the achievements of many of our students. As representative of these students, I am pleased to call Mirarai Satola, graduating summa cum laude with a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Theater Arts and president of the class of 2012, to give greetings.
Good morning, President Scott, trustees, faculty, administration, distinguished guests, family, friends, and of course, the class of 2012. Today is a special day, and I imagine you're all thinking, finally. And most of you are just anxious for everyone to stop speaking so you can walk across this stage. Despite the various hoods we are wearing, the multiple countries and families we represent, and the decorations and cords we have donned, today we come together to officially embark on a new chapter in our journeys. Whenever someone asks me, so what's the next step? I didn't know whether to laugh, cry, or do a celebratory dance in honor of my impending graduation. And now that it's May 18th, I'm still not sure what to do. What I do know is that I am beyond honored and privileged to represent an overwhelmingly talented intelligent, and hardworking class. No matter what the next step is for any of us, I have confidence that it will always be forward and upwards. Imagine our college journeys as stops on a train. The first stop on this journey is discovery. I remember being on my way to orientation from Boston 4 years ago, and I was nervous and excited about going to college in a different state. Little did I know that something called the Long Island Railroad would bring me to Adelphi, a place where I would make new friends, persevere through challenging situations, and learn to appreciate where I come from and who I am, quirks and flaws included. The second stop on this journey is risk-taking. I admit that I procrastinate, I expect too much of others, and sadly, I do not always phone home. But I have learned that it is okay to have flaws, and it's okay to take risks with the threat of failure. Neither our successes or our mistakes should be measured against anyone else's. Most wonder why I would major in a career that does not guarantee success or longevity. But I love the theater because I am free to be myself. Within the Performing Arts Center walls, I have been taught to get comfortable with the uncomfortable, to embrace my weaknesses, and to not be scared to make a fool of myself. I'm really hoping that the job market acknowledges being silly as a marketable attribute. The third stop on this journey is memories. Throughout the year, I've been hearing, "Remember freshman year? Do you know what happened to? And were you there when?" I know firsthand that our time at Adelphi is a combination of all the hilariously odd yet heartwarming memories we have made. I know there are things I should have done, places I wish I'd studied abroad, and shows I hoped I'd be in. But I won't forget the laughs, tears, and late-night memories we have made here. As long as we stay connected, where we come from, the stories we share, and the memories we create are what make the past worth remembering, and the present so blessed with opportunity. The next stop is up to you. Your aspirations don't have to be vast or even make sense, but just know there's no shame in pursuing all of your heart's desires. You could dream of living in a castle, sharing a stage with Broadway stars, opening a little shop called the Sock Man, of building schools, becoming an RN, or a CEO, and the list goes on. No matter what we hope to achieve on our individual journeys, by taking a leap of faith, diving in and taking full advantage of the opportunities in front of us, and visualizing nothing but greatness, we can all have bright futures. A large number of business people, activists, entertainers, and innovators can call Adelphi home, and today is the day we join their ranks. During this year, more often than not, I would wake up and think, is this real? Am I really graduating? But as I look for inspiration for this very real commencement speech, I came across a poem I wrote when I was 15. As the earth rotates, flowers bloom. The sun rises in turn with the moon. Leaves fall as we try to catch them all, yet lately I've noticed all that's bold moves. To me, this poem means that the seasons will always change. The sun never fails to keep rising and setting. But as routine as nature can be, we as people should never stop making bold moves, forward and upwards. As you keep traveling on this journey called life, just like the Long Island Railroad, there will be missed connections, delays, transfers, and sometimes you might even get off at the wrong stop. No matter what, always keep the class of 2012 quote in your mind. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you've imagined. Most people know the saying, if you see something, say something. But my version is, if you imagine something, or better yet, if you want to create something that shatters the world, then do something. You are the conductor of your life, and only you can define your future success. Thank you, and congratulations. At this time, I would like to express my gratitude to the Executive Board of the Class of 2012. Carolyn Smith, Joanne Joseph, and Anthony Maldonado for their continuous dedication and hard work, and I invite them to join me at the podium. Last year, the class of 2011 achieved Adelphi's highest participation rate for senior giving. But the class of 2012 has exceeded that milestone and achieved the best numbers in the history of the Senior Legacy Campaign at Adelphi. To date, 230 of you have contributed to the Senior Legacy Campaign. We are proud to present this year's senior class gift, a contribution to the Senior Legacy Endowment and a commemorative gift to all incoming freshmen. It's our way of leaving our legacy behind and a vote of confidence and encouragement to the next generation of Adelphi students.
Now, representing the graduate students, I am pleased to call Richard Melvin, who will be receiving his MSW from the School of Social Work, to give greetings.
Thank you. Good morning, President Scott, members of the faculty, parents, guests, and to my fellow graduates. I'm proud to stand before and represent you on this special occasion in our lives. Writing this speech was one of the most stressful events in my educational career here at Adelphi University. The title, The Graduate. Graduation is a time to celebrate the hard work, dedication, and perseverance of the individual achievements of such a prestigious accomplishment. It is a time when the individual can reflect over this life stage and be proud of completing this phase of their educational career, one which will provide happiness. I'm sure for most of us, this was no easy task, especially for those who had to manage our time between attending classes, writing papers, full-time jobs, spouses, children, and friends. If you're sitting here today and these experiences do not apply to you, let me be the first to say what an experience you have missed. For in my opinion, it's these experiences we can reflect upon with pride and which lead us forward with ambition. Just a few years ago, despite social economic hardship, I entered Adelphi with a vision and a dream of hopes of accomplishing a goal. Because Adelphi understood the needs of non-traditional students like me by offering part-time and weekend courses at extension centers, I was able to maintain a full-time job while paying for my graduate degree. Other issues arose during this time. My mother was diagnosed with breast cancer, and my grandmother became ill and passed away the week before finals. In getting to this point, I'm sure many of you experienced similar struggles. Although my undergraduate GPA fell below the requirements for admission, the School of Social Work admitted me into their graduate program as a provisional student and allowed me to demonstrate my ability to succeed in the classroom and further my professional education in the human service field. Society can exclude people from socioeconomic backgrounds like mine from opportunities and resources to succeed. Adelphi Thank you for meeting the needs of these underserved groups and understanding the educational disadvantages we face. It's because of your goal to provide educational opportunities for all individuals that many graduates here, including me, are able to overcome great obstacles and thrive. On this momentous occasion, I stand before you as the representative for the graduate class of 2012. I am proud to say that I did it. However, I did not do it alone. I'm thankful for the assistance and support of my dean, Andrew Safyar, my professors, Wahiba Albaraz, Godfrey Gregg, Kelly Acevedo, and Michelle Brown, the staff, especially Student Affairs Coordinator Shanika Pickens, and others with whom I've had the privilege of learning. Thank you for helping me along the way, teaching me how to study, research, and succeed. I am extremely humbled by Dr. Godfrey Gregg and Dr. Albaraz, who extended themselves beyond the classroom and provided me with additional emotional support. You two truly exemplify some of the most important values of the social work profession, the principles of empathy and genuineness. I've always believed in the African proverb, it takes a village to raise a child. Today, Adelphi, we thank you all for being our village. Also, at this time, my fellow graduates, please join me in giving a round of applause to our professors, family members, friends, and loved ones who has assisted us in this journey. And my relationship with my peers are equally valuable, and the support we provided to one another is indescribable. I'm especially thankful to my cohort crew. Today, we celebrate the struggles of many sleepless nights, train rides back and forth, sacrifice of time, our jobs, and barely making ends meet. Today, we celebrate being a graduate. I'm proud to say you are my Adelphi family, and I pray the bond we form will last a lifetime. Graduates, your story may not be my story, but I'm sure whatever your story is, I can identify with the worry and difficult times of your educational journey. I encourage you to take pride in overcoming those challenges. Some who started this journey with us did not make it. Take pride in becoming a graduate. Today, as I stand before you, I see a diverse group of individuals, and I'm reminded of the resounding phrase from the Declaration of Independence, all men are created equal. And although we may have similarities in our individuals' walks of life are and will probably continue to be different, on this day, we are one. And as one, we celebrate our vision and our dream. Yes, today, we celebrate being a graduate. This is a crucial point in our lives when we are about to build on previous experiences and embark upon new ones. These experiences may differ for each graduate. For some, it may be the beginning of creating your own identity and establishing your independence, while for others, like myself, it would be to advance in our chosen profession. Regardless of what the experience may be, I am thankful and hope you are as well to Adelphi University for providing us with the tools and support to building a better life. Being chosen to represent the graduate class of 2012, I am reminded of my high school class song, One Moment in Time, written by Albert Hammond and John Bettis and recorded by the late Whitney Houston. This song has stood the test of time in my life. Each day I live, I want to be a day to give the best of me. I've laid the plans, I broke my heart, fought every gain to taste the sweet, I faced the pain. In closing, I say today, graduates, is our one moment in time. Graduates, today is our eternity. And today, graduates, we are at the starting line. So runner, take your mark, get set, and go. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Richard. To preside over the awarding of honorary degrees, I present the President of Adelphi University, Dr. Robert A. Scott.
Thank you to Gail, Ron, Mirai, and Richard. Let's give them a big round of applause. In the tradition of the Academy, it is customary to accompany a graduation ceremony with the awarding of honorary degrees to individuals of striking accomplishments. The Adelphi Board of Trustees bestows such honors on the occasion of commencement because those honors can give our graduates additional examples of the possibilities that education and imagination create. I ask that the chairman of the board, Mr. Robert Willemstad, please join me to preside over these proceedings. I now ask Trustee House to come forward and ask Professor Jackie Lamont to present Ms. Jamaica Kincaid to be duly recognized. We wish that each of our honorees could speak, but we ask to let these citations not only honor them, but perhaps introduce them to you in ways that are not available in the book. Jamaica Kincaid, we know you for your work at The New Yorker entitled When I Was 17, your short stories and your novels, your fiction including At the Bottom of the River, A Small Place, Lucy, and the autobiography of my mother, and nonfiction including My Garden, On Seeing England for the First Time, and Among Flowers, A Walk in the Himalaya, inspire us to think about mother-daughter relationships, female identity in a male-dominant society, the phenomenon of female bonding, the development of identity in light of cultural expectations, and the natural world which surrounds us. Jamaica Kincaid, we know you through these works and word images, but do not know you as Elaine Potter Richardson, born on the island of Antigua, which you fled at the age of 17, leaving name and family behind. In 1973, you moved to New York to work as an au pair, changed your name in order to write anonymously, and develop fame and recognition with this new identity. While your college career included study to become a nurse, photography, and courses in literature, your academic career has blossomed in the English and African American Studies departments at Harvard University, Claremont McKenna College as professor of literature, and visiting lecturer at various colleges and universities. Honors include the prestigious Anisfield Wolf Book Award, the Lila Wallace Reader's Digest Fund Award, a Guggenheim Foundation Award, and a Prix Femina Étranger Award. You were elected to the American Academy of Arts and Letters and to the American Academy of Arts and Sciences. Jamaica Kincaid, for your remarkable ability to describe the particulars of family relationships and the universals of the human condition, exploring themes of culture and corruption, politics and philosophy, the Board of Trustees of Adelphi University and I are privileged to award you this honorary Doctor of Humane Letters on this commencement day, May 18, 2012, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. I now ask Professor Mariano Torres to come forward and present Mr. Leonard Riggio to be duly recognized. Leonard Riggio, you are a Renaissance man with extraordinary accomplishments in the worlds of commerce, art, and philanthropy. Your personal achievements are measured at least as much in terms of ethics, character, and good citizenship as in financial success or material gain. Your company, Barnes & Noble, is a household name for anyone who loves reading and learning, an important connection for Adelphi, where we are committed to preparing independent, lifelong learners and contributors to knowledge and service in an ever-changing world. We, too, seek to advance character and citizenship, as well as careers and commerce. Len, beginning with a single college bookstore in 1965, you built one of the largest enterprises in the history of American retail business. Barnes & Noble is now the leading retailer of content, digital media, and educational products in the United States, with over 1,300 retail and Barnes & Noble college bookstores nationwide and 45,000 booksellers. Many of us are fans and users of the company's award-winning Nook brand products, which have helped revolutionize the way we read and learn. Less well-known, though, you are the founder of GameStop, with 7,000 stores worldwide, and the principal owner of MBS Textbook Exchange, the nation's largest textbook wholesaler and provider of logistics and technology. As an employer of over 100,000 people, it is remarkable that you find the time for philanthropic initiatives, not-for-profit boards, and initiatives such as the building of homes in New Orleans for families who lost those to Hurricane Katrina. This year, you and your wife, Louise, who is here, will have gifted 101 homes to displaced families through a not-for-profit you created. A product of and an advocate for public school education, you have been active on the boards of the New York City Fund for Public Schools and related initiatives. In recognition of your many accomplishments, you have received numerous awards, including the Ellis Island Medal of Honor and the Frederick Douglass Medallion, the Americanism Award from the Anti-Defamation League, its highest honor, and recognition by institutions of higher education. For all that you have done for the citizens of our country, for those who enjoy your enterprises, and for your friendship with Adelphi University, of which you are an Adelphi parent, it is our honor to bestow upon you this day, May 18, 2012, the Honorary Doctor of Laws degree, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. I now ask Trustee Angela Jagger to come forward and ask Professor Regina Axelrod to present Carmen Ortiz to be duly recognized. U.S. Attorney Carmen M. Ortiz, class of 1978. You are the first Hispanic and first woman to be named the state of Massachusetts Chief Federal Prosecutor, having been nominated to office by President Barack Obama in 2009. You have said, "I want children to be able to see themselves in me and know if they work hard, anything is possible." Carmen, you travel regularly to high schools throughout the Boston area to speak to Latino students, to mentor local law students, and welcome undergraduates, thanks to your open-door policy. Growing up in Spanish Harlem, your parents came from Puerto Rico while they were in their teens, speaking little English, but working hard to give you and your siblings a future that would include much more than they had. Carmen, you have said that education was your ticket out of the housing projects. So you worked hard and graduated from St. Agnes High School with a scholarship to Adelphi University. Law school at George Washington University was the next step. Then you were a program associate and training coordinator at the Harvard Law School Center for Criminal Justice. You worked on the Harvard-Guatemala criminal justice case. You entered public service as an attorney with the U.S. Justice Department in 1997, working as an assistant U.S. attorney in the Economic Crimes Unit of the U.S. Attorney's Office. You then worked in private practice, but it was your nomination to your current position, representing Massachusetts as United States Attorney, that has allowed you to more fully pursue your passions for seeking justice and mentoring students. You have won numerous awards: the Women in Federal Law Enforcement Foundation President's Award, the George Washington University Law School J. William Fulbright Distinguished Public Service Award, and the Massachusetts Women's Bar Association Pioneering Women of Color Award. You said, life isn't always easy, and you may deal with some stumbling blocks along the way, but education can open doors and provide tremendous opportunities. Don't let the class you failed, the test you did poorly on, hold you back. Try and try again, and don't let obstacles question your abilities to go far. End of quote. Carmen, your philosophy, your accomplishments, and your service to humanity make us proud to award you this honorary Doctor of Laws degree on this day, May 18, 2012, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Jamaica Kincaid, Leonard Riggio, Carmen M. Ortiz, under the authority vested in me by the State of New York and the Board of Trustees of Adelphi University, I hereby confer upon you the honorary degrees honoris causa with all the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Congratulations, honorees. And now please welcome our commencement speaker, Carmen M. Ortiz. Carmen.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. President Scott, Chairman Willemstad, and members of the Board of Trustees, fellow honorees, distinguished faculty, administrators, proud parents, family, friends, and of course, our esteemed graduates, the class of 2012. Congratulations to you. I can't tell you how thrilled I am to be back here at Adelphi celebrating this very special achievement with you. And make no mistake about it, you've achieved something remarkable. And I do want to take a brief moment to congratulate the parents, and yes, the grandparents, and everything that you have accomplished in seeing your son or daughter or grandson or daughter graduate today. I congratulate you as well. Before I continue, I would like to thank Dr. Scott and the board for bestowing me with this honorary Doctor of Laws degree and for inviting me to address you during today's commencement. I am humbled not only by the invitation to be here, but for the opportunity to come back to my alma mater, where it all started for me. And I can't believe it was this long ago, but 38 years ago. Admittedly, on my way here, things seem surreal. Wasn't it just yesterday that I was sitting where you are, in my cap and gown, full of excitement and anticipation for the future, feeling tremendous amount of pride and emotion to have my parents here, seeing their firstborn graduate from college and heading on to law school, and wondering where my life would take me. When I walked onto the Adelphi campus for the first time in 1974, boy, did things look certainly different than they do now. Timothy Costello was the president then. There was no new sports complex, no performing arts center, and very limited new state-of-the-art buildings. I have to say, though, that Earl Hall was there, where I would spend the next 4 years, along with spending time at Waldo and Eddie Hall's, hanging out with friends, spending time studying, and learning many of life's important lessons. Although the landscape has changed dramatically, there are some things that have remained the same, like Adelphi's long-standing reputation as a premier institution whose outstanding academic and athletic foundations have been the genesis for best-selling authors, Pulitzer Prize winners, CEOs, mayors, congressmen, and Olympic gold medalists, just to name a few. You may not realize it, but right here, right now, each of you has been extremely fortunate to have learned from the university's highly respected faculty, including Fulbright and Harvard scholars. There's no doubt that the changes that have been made at Adelphi over the past few decades have made it an even more outstanding institution than when I was here, in preparing and nurturing its students to make their mark in the world. And I know that at the heart of many of these changes is President Scott, who I would like to commend for raising the bar at Adelphi with great success. Adelphi certainly provided me with the foundation that I needed to make my own mark. When I first walked onto the campus, there was no way for me to know at that time what it would be. Yet there was no denying that Adelphi opened doors of opportunity for me. When I started here, as you heard Dr. Scott say, I was just a young woman from very humble beginnings, the oldest of 5 children, born of 2 hardworking parents who had moved from Puerto Rico to New York City, and then later on to Long Island, just for better opportunities for their family. I was the first one in my family to go to college and the only one to go on to earn a graduate degree. Not in my wildest dreams did I think that someday I would be standing at the podium, or any podium for that matter, giving a commencement address. So now that I have this wonderful opportunity, what do I say? What inspirational words of wisdom do I impart to you today? What would I have wanted to know when I was sitting in your shoes? Let me start by telling you that when I graduated, I thought I knew the path that my life would take. After all, growing up, despite a number of challenges that I faced, I was one of those kids that I was always clear about what I wanted, and I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to pursue a legal career because I was motivated by the desire to perform in court in front of a jury, and to work in a profession that would intellectually challenge me, where I could help people that had gotten into trouble, and yes, a career where I thought I would be financially rewarded. So I worked hard in high school in order to get into college, and when I got into Adelphi, I worked twice as hard in order to get into law school, and I became a lawyer. During my career, in which I've worked primarily as a state and federal prosecutor as well as a defense attorney, I can honestly say that my true calling has been public service. It has fulfilled my innate desire to be challenged and my commitment to serving justice. I could not be more proud to serve in these challenging and exciting times and with this administration. I'm particularly proud to be a member of the Department of Justice family, where our mission is to keep the people of America safe through many different endeavors. While our number one priority is to combat terrorism and to ensure the security of this great nation, we also commit tremendous resources to fighting financial fraud, public corruption, gun and gang violence, and yes, to also protecting the civil rights of every citizen. I spent a great deal of time emphasizing the importance of public service in every capacity, and I believe that there's no greater sense of fulfillment. For me, it has been a way of giving back for the opportunities that I've had and what I've been able to accomplish. If you have the opportunity to serve the public in any capacity, I highly recommend that you seize that opportunity and experience the sense of fulfillment that it can bring you. Trust me, you won't regret it. In the coming months and even years, each of you will follow planned and unplanned paths. Your career will be guided by many things, from your personal life to your changing interests. What you think is important or most desirable now won't be the same in 5, 10, or 25 years from now. So here we are today, May 18th, 2012, graduation day, a wonderful day that perhaps you've dreamed about, and even more likely that your family has been dreaming about and waiting for. Perhaps it's a day that you've been looking forward to, but with some trepidation as you say goodbye to, at least temporarily, many of your closest friends. And as you head out into the world, wondering how are you going to be able to pay some of those student loans. The world can be a chaotic place. It seems like every time you turn on the television, there is news about unemployment, outsourcing, political divisiveness, war, uncertainty. Yes, the world is and can be a chaotic place. But at the heart of it, it's also a wonderful place. A place for you, class of 2012, to make your mark. Some of you may be leaving here today still in search of your first job or still trying to decide what your next step will be. The situation today is not unlike that of 1978 when I was sitting where you are. Everyone was complaining about the gas prices. Yes, even back then they were complaining about the gas prices. And guess what? The gas price was 63 cents a gallon that year. Half the price of a gallon of milk. They also worried about unemployment. The unemployment rate was 6.4% and moving its way to over 10%. Sound familiar? These are elements that are out of your control. Just know that it is your turn to seize the day and the opportunities that come your way. I'd like to share with you just some key basic principles that have helped to guide my life and have helped me to get to where I am today. First, dare to dream, dare to want it all. Don't limit yourself. Be open to opportunities that will come your way and realize that dreams can change with time. If this wasn't my philosophy, I wouldn't be standing where I am today. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, encourage you, and support your career and ambitions. You know, you can't pick the family that you're born into, for better or for worse, although here it's all for the better. Pick your friends, partners, and work colleagues, and pick those who will help to move you forward and not hold you back. Choose those who show confidence in you and encourage you. Encourage you to go for that promotion. Encourage you to go for that unexpected challenge. You know, I had served at the U.S. Attorney's Office for 12 years, and I never gave the corner office a real thought until this opportunity came up, and I thought about applying for U.S. Attorney. Despite all of my experience, I wasn't sure that I would really be able to get the job. I hadn't been a manager or a supervisor in the office. I didn't feel that well connected to those making the decisions. And there were other lawyers that were being talked about in Boston about being U.S. Attorney. But my close friends and family really encouraged me to go forward. And one of my biggest fans ever, my husband, Tom, he told me to go for it. Bottom line, what did I have to lose? Why not take the risk? And so I did, and here I am today. And so I say to you, choose those friends that are going to encourage you to move forward wisely. Work hard, make an impression. Thank you. Add value. Make yourself indispensable, especially if you're not crazy about the work that you are doing. It's easy to work hard when you love what you do. The challenge is when you're bored, when you are underutilized, when you're taken for granted. Put your best foot forward. It's your reputation that will count the most. Be persistent. Never give up, despite what life's challenges may be, what the setbacks will come to be. I certainly thought that I had my life planned out when I left Adelphi, going on to law school, going to Washington, D.C. I didn't realize that 4 years later, 5 years later, I'd be taking the Massachusetts bar exam and heading to Cambridge, Massachusetts, where I would work as a state prosecutor in the DA's office. I was totally unaware that after getting married and having 2 little girls and being on top of my game at the DA's office, you know, getting to that point in life when you feel that you have reached it all, you're at the top of what you wanted, you're a success. That my husband, my first husband, would be diagnosed with cancer, that we would battle cancer for 8 years, and that 12 years ago, that terrible disease would take his life. I was devastated. I was left with 2 young girls, trying to pick up the pieces. It was hard to envision myself walking back into a courtroom. But time passed, and with the love of family and friends, here I am today, the first woman and the first Hispanic United States Attorney. So I simply want to let you know, never give up. No matter what setbacks may come your way, it's really key that you pursue your dreams. Forge and nurture relationships. You don't know where the people that you meet today will be in the future and in the years to come, obviously, and those who you may turn to and those who you will treasure. When I worked at the Department of Justice Honors Program, and before I actually got that position, I was a law student, and I did an internship. I worked with a young attorney named Eric Holder in the Public Integrity section. Who would have known that 30 years later, he would be the Attorney General for the United States of America, and that I would be a U.S. attorney working for him. Maintaining relationships as you go through life is key, as they can be referrals for different opportunities, recommendations for jobs that you seek, and most important, close friendships. I can't tell you that one of the most important memories, most of the important things that happened to me when I was at Adelphi was to make the friendships that I made. I have some women friends that I'm incredibly close to and that will be there forever in the good times and the bad. Accept disappointments with class and grace. Don't let them define you. Don't let them distract you, make you bitter, or fill you with regret. Instead, use them as a motivating force to excel, to move on, to do better. And lastly, I'm getting to the last principle here, which may sound simple, and it may sound a little silly, but don't forget to be nice. No one likes a whiner, a complainer, or a person with an attitude. And when it comes time for that employer to choose who to hire, who to promote, who to send off to Paris for that sales conference, who do you think will be chosen? The nice person. I have stood by these basic principles throughout my life and turned to them many times as I navigated through my own career in law enforcement and in public service. Although it's hard for you to anticipate what the future may hold, think about what the great songwriter John Lennon once wrote. Life is what happens when you're busy making plans, when you're busy making other plans. The point is simply that while life presents many ups and downs, you should feel assured that the experience here at Adelphi has prepared you not only for a wonderful career, but has also provided you with the ability to deal with the unexpected challenges that life will most certainly throw your way. But of course, you must deal with reality. Although some of you are fortunate enough, I think many of you are actually fortunate enough to have jobs already and know what path you'll take, it is a tough job market out there, and it's challenging. Corporations, small businesses, government agencies at every level are scaling back and have been doing so for some time. I know that the Center for Career Development works hard on your behalf to make sure that you are adequately prepared to enter the job market through events, workshops, guidance, and the Alumni Center Network. Take advantage of their expertise, and not just now, but as you move along your path, your career path. The bottom line is that there's no magic solution, no one way to accomplish your goals. You need to be engaged in all that you do, focused on every passion that you have, and never take anything for granted. You need to define what success means for you and to strive to achieve it. And understand that as you proceed through life, that success may change for you. For me, and now for all of you, the foundation laid by Adelphi has given us the tools to succeed and meet our full potential. And for that, I am forever grateful and proud to be an alumnus. So let me be the first to officially welcome you to the real world. As you leave here today to enter the workforce, continue your education, or join the armed forces, please embrace the chances to continue your learning process, channel your greatest passions, and hope and improve the world that we share. That is your mission, class of 2012, and it is your responsibility. So congratulations again, and thank you so very much for the privilege of sharing it with you.
Another round of applause for the Honorable Carmen M. Ortiz, class of 78. We have some other alumni with us today. A very special group celebrating their 50th reunion with the class of 1962. Please rise and accept our applause. I'd now like to ask Shelley Kleiman, co-chair of the Advisory Council for Alumni, to come forward and to present Claire Johnson-Machowski, class of 1962, with the Ruth S. Harley Distinguished Alumni Achievement Award.